Whether they are positive or negative, it is clear that there are prominent events that I have encountered that have completely altered the person I am today. When somebody is young and has little experience in life, anything they endure may have a lasting effect on their life. There are instances in my past involving family, social, and historical influences, both beneficial and disadvantageous, that have taught me lessons I will remember through every tough situation in my life. Many serious natural disasters have occurred in my lifetime. These events have not affected me directly, but have not failed to show me how lucky I really am. Video has flashed across my television screen, showing pain from tsunamis, agony from hurricanes, and an unspeakable amount of emotional distress. When I first saw these events, I never really understood how real it was. I expected that they would find help and permanent damage would never be a factor, but through numerous accounts of disasters, I realized the reality of the situation. People all around the world faced terrible fate from these disasters. The scariest part became the fact that it was not unrealistic for people of my status. Just because I lived in Hopkinton, or simply America as a whole, did not save me. Disasters did not have a choice of who to affect. Some just occur randomly, and there is nothing anyone can do to control that. When I realized this, I had no desire to take anything for granted any longer. The loving people I have around me became much more valued as I viewed these natural disasters occurring. With each disaster I saw, I became more and more thankful for what I have. As I grew older, social matters became more and more influential on me. Social gatherings, the use of technology, and sports have become influences that have impacted me in a way that will never change. As a child, I had a very small amount of confidence in my social skills. For this reason, I was quite reserved throughout my childhood, but not every child seemed this way. Some even started having parties or social gatherings, and I began to get invited. At first, this was more intimidating than it seems. I had no clue how to behave in such an environment, but I soon learned that it was easy to be myself in public. It seemed like none of my friends cared what anyone else thought, because to enjoy their time on Earth is what was important. And it was not hard for me to adopt that idea. What some of them had that I did not was the newest technology. But when I did get a cell phone, my social skills changed even more. Some may say that texting eliminates children's abilities to communicate face to face, but to me, online communication was just practice for the real world. I saw how some people responded to different things I said and began to use that in real conversations. Many of these conversations started to be about one of my favorite topics, sports. They are boring to some people, but the vast majority of my friends are fascinated by professional sports such as basketball. When this common ground was established, communicating became effortless. Clearly, the factors that influenced my social skills were all beneficial in the end. Most of what I know, I learned from my family. The most important lessons that I was taught were about being motivated, fun-loving, outgoing, and a leader. One of the hardest lessons I had to learn is how to be motivated. I had always had trouble with this until I noticed what occurs in my family. My father always seemed to be out of the house early, and my mother can always be found at the computer. These both happened for the same reason, because they were working hard. By the time the clock hit 6 o'clock a.m., my father would never be caught in bed anymore. My parents believed in earning what they deserve, and to show what they deserve, hard work was mandatory for them. It did take me a while to get the hang of this, but once I did, I would earn everything I received. But when it was not time to work, my family knew how to enjoy themselves. They would never be too shy to do anything that would make them happy, such as sing out loud at public concerts. I thought this was embarrassing, but after enduring it for years, I picked up on the fact that doing what makes me happy is essential to having the life I want to have. But I had to be outgoing to do these things, and I was the only one in my family that was a shy kid. My family members are all loud and excited at all times, and I lacked those features. To change this, my family would always call me out on my talents in public to try to get me to share myself with the world. And it worked, because when I showed my basketball skills or jokes to people, there was always a positive reaction. And from then on, I always did what I could to receive the same reaction. With the skill I learned from my family, since then, I have constantly tried to be a leader and pass on the happiness. The most important part of being a leader to me is getting others involved and happy. Simply being inviting is the best way I can think of to be a leader, and it is all thanks to my family. With the skills I have learned throughout the years, I someday hope to be a successful leader in the world. This is not too much to ask for, considering I have been presented with everything I need to do so by the generous people in my life. As I pass on these skills to as many people as I can, I know I will be seen as a leader throughout the rest of my life.